lying down because I think that we need a little rest. And it's Earth Day tomorrow, and I thought all my yoga this week is about earthing and grounding, so I thought what better way than to lie on the floor. So just get really comfortable and lie on the back and have the knees bent or straight, whatever feels comfortable to you, and the hands just outside, just flopping to the side of the body. And if you have the knees bent, you could always put the knees towards each other, so they're resting. And just start to focus on the breath in the belly. Just that gentle rising and falling of the belly. And with every out breath, just thinking of letting go the weight of the body into the support of the earth. And you can really just sigh the breath out. Thinking about sending roots down through the spine and down through your heels and toes. Digging down through the floor in your house and into the earth beneath. And lots of little roots out the back of the body, just anchoring you and grounding you into the floor. And then take the hands up to about shoulder height, so that the breath comes up a little higher into the chest this time. Feeling the back of the body and the back of the shoulders supported by the ground, so they can fully relax any of their holding. And then bring the arms up into a kind of Y shape, if that's comfortable with your shoulders, so that the breath can come all the way up into the armpits and the shoulders. Nice long, deep breaths. Breathing out, down through the roots and into the ground. And breathing in this new energy from the ground, up through your roots, into your body. Nourished by the earth. And then if you have your knees bent, then straighten the legs and reach the arms all the way up overhead, so you're taking a full body stretch. And reach through the fingers and through the toes. And relax the whole body. And another full body stretch all the way through the fingers and through the toes. And relax. And then take the feet over to the left hand side of your mat and cross the right foot over the left, and take hold of the right hand and draw it over to the left, so that you're in a banana shape. So arms are lying on the floor, the legs are on the floor. Just a really gentle curve in the right hand side of the body. And then take about 3 breaths into that side. And we'll go over to the other side. So shuffle the feet over to the right and cross the left foot over the right. And draw the left wrist over to the right and then just relax. So you can breathe into the left side of the body. And then just coming back to the centre, and we'll bend the knees and bring the knees into the tummy so you can hug the knees in. And inhale here and exhale to bring the nose towards the knees. So you're in a tiny little ball, and then inhale to rest the head back down and exhale to curl back up. One more time, just inhaling and exhaling to squeeze into a tiny ball and then just staying there in that little ball. And then rest the head down. And we'll take the feet about mat width on the floor. So feet come to the floor, really wide apart, and drop both knees down to the left. And then both knees down to the right. So knees are going from side to side like windscreen wipers. Arms can be out to the side if that's comfortable. Or you could reach them overhead if you want a different stretch. And leave the knees down to the left hand side next time you come over. And you could look over to the right for that extra stretch in the neck. One more breath there. And bring the head and the knees up and drop them over to the other side. One more breath. And knees come back up to the centre, and we'll come back up to seated and just onto the knees so we can sit back in a child's pose to begin with. So just sit the bum back on the heels and reach the forehead down and the arms ahead. And lifting the head back up, we'll come up and widen the knees. So the feet are together but the knees are wide apart. And then we sit back on the heels and then take the left hand and take it underneath. So we're doing a twist and resting on the left hand side of the head. Actually, I haven't got my bum on the heels, I've got it up high. So resting on the left hand side of the head, and then you could reach the right arm up and drop it down behind you, and then there's another option to stick the right leg out as well. And then just put the hand back down on the floor and coming back up to all fours, and we'll go on the other side. So the right hand will go underneath and we're on the right hand side of the head. And then you could stick the left leg out to the side and reach up with the left hand, and the left hand could drop behind you. So all optional stages, just stay with whichever one's more comfortable. And then reaching the arm back up and pressing back up until you come to seated. So we'll sit with the legs a little wider. No, let's sit there with the legs together actually, and we'll just hug the knee in and do a few extensions with the legs. So hugging the knee in, and then inhale to stretch the leg. Exhale to hug the knee. And then stretch the leg right out and hold underneath. And you could just rotate the ankle. And in the other direction. And then still the ankle, and then just sitting up straight towards the leg. Hug it in, and we'll turn the leg over so you're resting the ankle on the knee. And then just that gentle easing down on the top of the thigh. So you're kind of just resting with your elbow and easing down. That's it, lovely. And then just picking up the leg again, and we'll extend the leg away and circle it out towards the side. So we're just reaching that leg away and out to the side, drawing the knee back in. So drawing big circles along the floor. So it's opening the hip. And then you can come back in. Knee goes out to the side, reach the foot along the floor. And then rest the leg back down, and you could give the hip a bit of a pat. And then we'll go on the other side. So hugging the left leg in. Inhale to extend and exhale to hug. And then just going in your own time. This time we'll hold the leg and rotate the ankle in the other direction as well. And then just hold the leg still, sitting up nice and straight towards the thigh, and then we'll turn the leg over so it's on top of the right leg. And then left elbow just easing down gently. Gently opening the hip to prepare us for many hours of sitting in posture, the meditation posture, in the lotus pose. So we'll hug the knee back in, and then hands come to the floor, and we're reaching the foot out forwards, out to the side, and back in again. So we're just drawing a nice big circle along the floor. And going back in with your circles as well. And then rest the leg down and gentle patting. And then we'll finish our warming up sequence with the salutation to the earth. So where we go from side to side, like little press ups from each side. Exhale as you reach towards the floor And inhale as you come back up. And as you feel more space in the spine, you might just turn around to the back of the mat a little bit. Next time you come down to the right hand side, then resting there on your elbows. Stretch the legs apart and keep the legs nice and straight. And we'll just take about 5 breaths there. And then coming back up. As you come up, this time we'll just swing the heels up behind you. So the feet are coming towards the left hand side and the right hand is on the floor. And we can just lift the hips up and reach up. So you're on the knees, lifting the hips forwards and up, and just reaching up with the left arm. And then sitting back down. And we'll come to do a little bit more of the Bhu Namaskar each side. So going from side to side. And then coming to the left, and let's stay on the elbows on the left hand side. So just arranging yourself so the legs are nice and wide and the feet and legs are active. And about 4 or 5 breaths there. And then as you come back up, we swing the heels up to the right hand side. So the left hand becomes our support, and you can lift up into the knees, lift the hips nice and high, reach the right arm up. And then we'll bring the hand down and walk around onto all fours. So we come to kneeling. And we'll tuck our toes and come up into our downward dog. Just a gentle opening downward dog. Bend and stretch. So really nice hip opening variation for the downward dog I can show you. You just lift the left leg nice and high and drop the foot towards the buttock, and then open up the side of the body so the knees facing the ceiling. And then you really get that stretch along the side of the body, and you can bring the foot back down and go on the other side. So the right foot reaches up, drop the foot towards the buttock, and reach the knee up towards the ceiling. Lovely. Bring the feet back down, and then one more time we'll lift the left leg nice and high, and then bring the left foot towards the front of the mat. So you're in a long lunge with the left foot at the front. The back knee comes down so that you're in a resting sort of lunge. And with the hands on the inside of the front foot, we'll just take some circles here. And going in the other direction with your circles. And then we'll just pause at the front of the mat, lifting the head and lifting the chest. Thinking about drawing the pelvic floor up. And then plant the hands, we'll tuck the back toes and lift the back knee to come back to downward dog or go back through kneeling. So we'll just hold it for a couple of breaths. And then lift the right leg up nice and high and bring it towards the front of the mat, so that you're in your long lunge with the back knee down and the right foot at the front of the mat. And from here, hands in the middle and just circling the hips. Now going in the other direction. And we'll let the hips sink forwards. Lift the head and lift the chest, and I've come up onto my fingertips just to get a little bit more length in the spine. And then we're going to come to a forward fold. So as you tuck the back toe and lift the back knee, bring the left foot forwards and find yourself in a forward fold. Head towards the floor, knees still bent. And just shaking yes and no a few times. Now we'll lift the head and sweep the arms out to the side and come up and overhead. And exhale the hands to the heart. So again, inhaling to lift the hands up and wide. And exhale to bring the hands back to the heart. So we'll just do that a few more times. Inhaling up, reaching the arms wide and a slight back bend there. Drawing the pelvic floor in, and then exhale, bring the hands back to the heart. One more time, inhaling to reach up. Welcoming all the energies of the sky. And exhale the hands back to the heart. And we'll rest the hands down by the thighs with the palms facing forwards and the feet about hip width. And just rocking backwards and forwards on the feet and the heels on the balls of the feet. And lift the toes and spread the toes so you've got a really nice, stable, grounded base. Roll the shoulders up and back a couple of times. And let the back settle, palms of the hands forward. From here, going to be lifting and lowering on the heels. So lifting the heels and lowering on an exhalation. So as you lift, then sweep the arms up and overhead to meet at the top. And as you lower the heels to the ground, let the palms of the hands come to the side. And then just taking it in your own time. Exhale, the hands come back down to the legs. Trying as much to coordinate all of these movements so the palms of the hands reach each other as the heels reach their peak. And the hands reach the sides as the heels reach the floor. Just one more time, we're going to hold at the top of the stretch. Palms at the top, heels nice and high. And you could look up towards the hands if you're feeling balanced. And looking back down and then lowering back down. And one more time, let's reach up. Take the gaze towards the floor this time. So the gaze is a couple of meters ahead of you on the floor. And a little balance exercises to close the eyes. And then open the eyes and lower back down. And then we're going to come to a warrior pose. So we'll take the left foot to be the front foot and the right foot at the back. So you've got a nice long lunge and the arms at shoulder height. The gaze out over the front middle finger. And just feeling the grounding of that really stable position. As if that tree root was growing down through your tailbone and into the ground again. And then straightening the front leg. Let's reach forward so you can tilt down into your triangle. And then let the left hand come to the floor as you bend the knee and bring the right hand to the floor as well, so you end up in a long lunge. So we're in a long lunge with both hands on the floor inside the front foot. And then the right hand will stay on the floor and the left hand reaches up. So you're in a twisting position. Bring the left hand back down and we'll walk the hands around to the wide edge of the mat. So you're in a wide angle with the toes forwards and the heels back. And then release the crown of the head towards the floor. And then let's lift the head back up. Walk the feet in a little bit so you can come back up to standing easily. And we'll make the right foot the front foot so we can go on the other side. So, taking a long lunge with the right foot as the front foot in Warrior 2. Feeling the lower limbs of the body really grounded and the upper limbs light, lifting skyward. And then straightening the front leg, reach forward so that we can tilt into our triangle. And then bring the left hand down to the floor so you end up in a long lunge. Plant the left hand and reach the right hand up. And right hand comes back down again. And then walking to the wide edge of your mat again. One more time, a fold here, nice wide fold. Walking the hands back between the midline of the feet if that's comfortable, so you can ease the head down towards the floor. And we'll lift the head, bring the feet back in towards each other, all the way in, so you can come to a standing position again. And we'll just rotate the ankles a little bit to release them. Let's finish off our standing with a tree pose. So we can bring the left foot. Well, we'd have the right foot as a standing foot and the left foot either on the ankle or the calf or tucked into the groin. And the arms reaching as branches out to the side. And taking the gaze to a drishti point ahead of you. Or again, if you're feeling really balanced, you could look up as if you're welcoming all of the energies of the sky and everything above. Like you're holding a great big world. Feeling grounded through the lower limbs and light through the upper limbs. Reach the arms up And bring the hands back down to the heart. And release the foot down. And then we'll go to the other side. So the left foot will be your standing foot, and then place your right foot where you're comfortable for your tree. So take your arms where they would like to be, and choosing the point for your gaze. Breathing down through your tree roots. And then reach the palms together up and overhead and bring them down to the heart center. And release the feet down. And from here we just come to the floor. We could come through an Indian squat if you're comfortable with that. Or come to sit on the floor with the feet like this if that's not so comfortable. So that you're really lengthening the spine, slightly tucking the chin. And then just sitting and lengthening the legs out in front of you. So you're in Paschimottanasana, the seated forward fold, and we'll just take the hands on the floor next to you. And we'll inhale and reach up. And exhale to fold and reach over the tops of the feet. So a couple of times, reaching up. Exhaling forwards. Reaching up. And forwards. And one more time. And then settling into your forward fold. And then let's lift the head back up. Bring both heels in and drop the knees out to the side. So you're in your butterfly position and just butterflying the knees. And if you want to stay with this, you could stay here or you could come forwards into the forward fold version. And lifting the head back up. Bring the knees back together. And we'll come to lie on the front of the body. So, let's lie on the front of the body in, well, it's a prone prayer position. So you send the palms of the hands together out ahead of you and just rest the forehead on the floor. So think about grounding through the forehead and through the front of the body as if you could ground all of those electric thoughts in the head, empty everything down into the earth like an offering and like a prayer to the earth. And then we'll lift the head back up and bring the hands underneath the shoulders, well, the elbows underneath the shoulders, so that you're in a Sphinx pose. So the hands are ahead of you, the elbows are just ahead of the shoulders. And we're tucking the pubic bone into the floor and lengthening through the spine. Drawing the pelvic floor in as well, so that you keep some support for the lower back. Whilst at the same time trying not to clench the buttocks too much. And then we'll just press into the right hand and bring the right knee out to the side. And just rest here. So the left elbow goes away from you and you just can settle into a resting position of this gentle hip opener. With the next couple of breaths, just softening the body a little further. And then we're going to send the left arm out towards the knee side, so out towards the right, and rest on that side of the body. So both palms of the hands are together, and we're going for our twist. So right hand will open up towards the ceiling and out behind you. And then exhale to bring it back to the other hand. So go in time with your own breath and open on the inhalation. Or play with the breath, see what feels better for you. And this next time, let's settle with the arms open and shuffle onto the back of the body a little more. You might need to hold on to the right thigh with the left hand. And you could take the head out to the right hand side as well. Just one more breath here. And then bring the head back to centre and bring the arm all the way back round. Come back onto the front of the body into our Sphinx pose for a couple more moments. And then we'll go into that resting pose. So left knee goes up to the side. Right elbow goes away from you and just resting on the side. And then we'll go for that twist. So take the right arm out and come onto the right side of the body with the palms of the hands together. And we'll open the left arm up and out, all the way towards the floor. And that opening and closing in time with your breath. And this time to settle yourself into the twisted position, making yourself comfortable. And 3 or 4 nice long deep breaths into the tummy. And then we're going to come onto the back of the body. So shuffling back onto the mat and just settling the back down with the feet on the floor and the knees up. And just tilting the tailbone, circling the pelvis a little bit. And a couple of hip raises here if we want to go for the bridge position. So just lifting and lowering. And if you want to hold the position, then just holding for a few breaths. Maybe reaching the arms up and overhead. Nice and strong in the thighs. And then rolling back down. Hugging the knees in. And we'll just roll over onto the side and come up to seated. So just have a comfortable seat and we'll just do a brief breathing exercise with a mudra. So it's basically having all of the fingertips together, the fingertips and the thumb tips together to make a little tent. And then you're just holding it in next to the heart. So it's a really simple one. All the fingertips together, right next to the heart. The gaze is down. And the breath is like, it's through the lips, but it's like you're drinking through a straw. So, and the out breath is through the nose. So the instruction is to breathe in beautifully as if you're sipping honey. So if you can imagine that, breathing in and out through the nose. And you can close the eyes. Have a gentle pressure at the fingertips. Just another 3 breaths like this. And then just rest the hands in the lap. And focus the inner gaze at the third eye space. And then we just gently lower yourself down into Shavasana for our resting pose. Be as comfortable as you can. And for the first couple of breaths, just releasing the weight of the body into the ground. And again, have that sensation of grounding through the whole of the back of the body. And opening up to the sky with the whole of the front of the body. Recognizing yourself as a child of the earth and the stars. And just honouring this connection that we have with nature. And bring the breath a little deeper back into the body. And stretching and waking back up. And we just rub the hands together and place the hands wherever you would like to get a little bit of warmth or to wake back up again. Just with some gentle massaging. Invigorating the body again. And we'll finish with our prana mudra, reaching the palms up to the sky. With a sense of gratitude for whatever you feel grateful for. Welcoming it into your heart. Palms come down into Namaste. Namaste.